From a standing position, you can keep a hand on the chair for support if you need it. Just make sure that the chair doesn't slide. From a standing position, let's separate our feet hips width or even a little bit wider so you feel really strong and supported. And whether you're sitting or standing, we're engaging through those core muscles. Shoulders draw back and down over the hips and the head is pulled back over the tailbone, bottom of the chin parallel to the floor. Let's first start with our heel lifts. I'm going to keep my hand onto the chair for balance. So let's start to lift those heels any amount as high as is comfortable. Feel the squeeze of the muscles along the back of the lower legs and then slowly release. If you are standing, imagine there's a string at the top of the head pulling you straight up and not forward. So let's lift those heels, squeeze and release. We'll do that 3 more times. Lift the heels, squeeze and release. Twice more, lift, squeeze, release, and then one last time we'll lift, squeeze, and release. And then you can shake it out if you need to. The next one we will lift our toes and the balls of the feet. If you're standing, I'll give you the side view. Keep a hand onto the chair for support. We're gonna have a soft bend in those knees so that you feel that the legs are engaged, the belly, the core is engaged. We'll transfer the weight a little bit more towards our heels, but have the hand on the chair for support. And then we'll lift those toes, maybe the balls of the feet as high as is comfortable, and then slowly release them down. So we'll rock the weight a little bit back towards the heels, lift, feel a squeeze of the front of the lower legs and the ankles, and then slowly release. Maintain a soft bend in the knees the whole time. We'll lift, squeeze, and release. Twice more, lift, squeeze, release. And then one last time, lift, squeeze, and release. And then stand up, shake it out if you need to. And then let's go into rolling to the outer edges of the feet. Remember to keep those knees as stable as you can. You can keep a hand on the chair for support if you're standing. And let's slowly start to lift the inner edges of the feet. Feel the squeeze along the inside of the ankles, inner lower legs, and then release down. So remember, it's not a lot of movement. It's just a little bit to strengthen those little muscles. Let's lift, inner edges, squeeze, and release. Let's do that 3 more times. Inner edges, lift, squeeze, release, and then twice more. Lift, squeeze, release, and then one last time. We'll lift, squeeze, and release. Shake it out if you need to. Now let's go into lifting the outer edges of the feet, making sure those knees stay stable, so we don't want the knees to come together. Soft bend in those knees. Stand up or sit up tall, and then lift the outer edges of the feet with a minimal movement in those knees. So feel the work of the outer ankles, outer lower legs, and then release them back down. So we'll lift, squeeze, and release. We'll do that 3 more times. And remember, just going to a point that feels good to you. 2 more times. Squeeze and release. And always remember to modify or back off if you need to. And release maybe a few turns of each foot in each direction. And then our final exercise are our feet fists, or our fist feet. I'm going to remove my shoes, but you can keep yours on if you'd like. So from a tall sitting or standing position, first find that upright spine, engaging through the core. If you're standing, have that soft bend in the knees. Move the weight a little bit more towards the heels, but keep a hand on the chair for support. And then imagine this hand is my foot, and we'll slowly start to curl those toes under, feel the work of the soles of the feet, and then slowly release them out. Spread the toes, maybe lift the toes off of the floor. So we'll curl those toes under, make a fist with your feet, and then let's slowly release and spread them as far apart as you can. 3 more times. Curl them in, feel the work of the soles of the feet and the toes, and then flatten them and spread. And then twice more, curling them in, feel the squeeze, and then release. And then one last time, curl the toes in, and then release and stretch it out. And then wiggle those toes if you need to, wiggle the feet, the ankles, the legs. Okay,